Welcome to my channel. I am Art Walker. This is my drawing channel. Welcome to any new people that are joining me today. What is the goal for today? The goal for today is learning how to draw the human knee. I know that's not probably the most exciting subject in the world. However, it will improve your drawing work. Yes, it is, Anderson Silva. I've given up the fight game. So now I'm fighting with my pen. How you doing, Kim? You doing well? So, as you guys know, I do this for free. What I will only ask of you is that you hit the like button, share the actual live, and just support my channel that way. In the same way that I'm supporting you by offering you this service for free. You're really good at drawing. Not yet. It's going to get better. So thank you for those that have already started to share. That is much appreciated. So what I'm going to show you is we have here a drawing of the human leg, the thigh, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to concentrate on this area here, right? So this is what I do with most pieces of anytime I want to draw anything. I'll try to draw it as a whole, and then I will try to then draw it as individual parts and break it down. Now part of my team. Are you now part of the team? Who is that? Who allowed you into the team? Oh. What's that popping up there? Something popped up. I don't. Well, that's good. If Kim allowed you into the team, you must be pretty solid. So I don't even have to worry about that. So welcome, Knixie. Is that right? No, what team? What team? Ah, how you doing, Ebony? Nice to see you. Right. So let's get into this. Drawing the human knee. Right. So I'm gonna break this down. We're gonna go first of all, we're gonna go into the bones and stuff like that, and then we're gonna add the muscle to the knee, right? So let's get into it. So if you don't know what my channel is about, please check my TikTok feed, and you will see all of my stuff. I do tend to draw a lot of anatomy stuff, and today we are going to focus on the human knee. This will help you if you're drawing any kind of character, just to understand what the knee looks like and so on, and where you have to add specific muscles, and you can take it to whatever level you like, but I like to take it as far as it can go. So anyway, let's look at the human knee, right? So the human knee, if you're not familiar with my work, you will see that I actually depict the human knee like this, if you're not familiar with my work. So this is how I would draw some leg. If let me just drag that out a little bit there, here and here. So this would be the knee area, right? And this would be the knee from the side, right? So that's basically how I would depict the human knee if I want to draw any kind of character. And that's the foot here, right? So you can see that's very simplified. However, we all know that the human knee is not as simple as that. And the reason why I think it's important that you know exactly what the human knee looks like is because when you start to draw your characters, or whether it be male or female, you have muscles that attach to the knee in the same way that we have muscles that attach here. So this is why it's important to understand what the actual knee looks like, and then you can apply your skill of adding muscle to that knee. You don't have to have it 100%, right? This would be I suppose it's quite a basic interpretation of what the top of the knee would look like. So it would look similar to this, right? So we've got the thigh here. This is the thigh bone here. This is the knee section here that I've drawn here. Walker, I don't want to do dishes. Can you tell your mum that? Why would I want to tell your mum that? You have to tell her yourself. Why do you not want to do the dishes? You need to do the dishes. That's important. You have to help your mum out. I'm not with you on that one. You have to help your mum out. This is being video recorded, so you can definitely get back to it. So, right, so this is the thigh bone, right? So this is a simplified version of it. And then we have our kneecap here, right? So I'm just going to draw the kneecap shape roughly here. So this bone is quite a heavy bone, as you all know. But I'm not going to go much more into detail into how we can make it look three-dimensional. We can shade certain areas and show certain flat sides and stuff like that. But I don't want to take it too far because it doesn't have to be that detailed. However, we also have the lower part of the bone here, or the knee, excuse me, here, and that would be our shin bone. Yeah, exactly. Help your mum do the dishes quickly. Don't be lazy. So the shin bone looks roughly like this. It's quite a sturdy bone. However, don't forget we actually have two bones in our shin, right? So we have a smaller one here on the outside, and then we have our larger tibia and fibia exactly here. So this is the larger bone here. I hope my phone is not stopping the actual live because it started beeping. Anyway, so then we have an area at the front of the knee that connects our kneecap here. I'm going to change the pen just to show you. Add a little bit of shading like so. So this is roughly how the human knee looks like. All right. Has anyone got any questions up until this point here? How you doing, Jimbo? Anyone got any questions? And thank you for the kind gifts. Right, so no questions, so let's soldier on. We have tendons. I'm going to draw the tendons in green. So we have tendons that connect here when my pen decides to work. The kneecap is here. This is the kneecap here. So this here, in fact, let me just do that here. So this is the simplified version. All right, the simplified version is here. So if you see any drawings that I have done in the past, I'll just grab one here quickly. There you go, that'll do it. There you go, you see here? This is a simplified version of the human leg, right? So that is important. If you start drawing, you can simplify things. And I'll go into that in a little bit later. So wherever you see a joint, that is a circle, a spherical object. Happy Art Corner, how you doing? So wherever you see a joint, that will be here, a circle, right? So this is actually here, the circle here. We have our kneecap here. Then we have a tendon that connects, oops, grabbed the wrong pen, connects to the knee here, all right? You have this very strong tendon here that's connecting the knee. So we have to also translate that information from the side, all right? So we have this flat area here. Then we have our major bone here, thigh bone here. Then we have our tibia and fibia bones here. So we would be seeing the smaller one here. All right, so let's add that. As you can see, I've used this guideline here, so I can follow all my lines in exactly the same way here, like so. And then we have our smaller tibia bone here. So now we are viewing this from this angle here. This is the view here. The kneecap I would add here. This is where the kneecap is. And then we have this tendon that comes down like so. Is everyone getting that? Is everyone getting that at the moment, right? So now we've got our knee from the side and we have it from the front. right? This is from the side and this is from the front. In the same way we've got it here. Kneecap, recap. Yeah, exactly. This is the kneecap and that's the recap. Not bad, not bad for a Sunday. Not bad for a Sunday. Let's hatch that up a little bit. So, this is as much detail as I choose to want to know. Unless I'm really getting into a heavy, what do you call it? Anatomy drawing like this, I don't really need to know much more, personally. But if you want to get heavily into anatomy, be my guest and learn every single aspect of it. But I personally don't need to. Right, so if these are our joints and our thigh joint, and then we've got our shin, and then again a joint. What I tell you guys to do is concentrate on cylinders, right? So the hips, I'm going to actually draw the hips here. I'm going to draw the hips here. So the hips will roughly be around here. Kneecap here, shin here, foot here at the bottom. A little bit of a wonky foot, but it's okay for this purpose. Now what we need to add is our thigh and then our calf, right? We're not going to go into the thigh and calf at the moment. We're going to concentrate more on the knee, all right? But like I've shown you guys here, we have muscles connecting to the knee. Who was banned? Who got banned? I don't know what's going on there. I'm just going to keep soldiering on. I don't know who. Someone's spamming us. Okay. Yeah, good. Well, there you go. But it all goes together, right? When you look at the masters, they concentrate a lot on anatomy, and you have to incorporate that in your artwork. It makes your artwork look better. If you just draw a leg and you draw a leg like this, is it terrible or is it good? Does it suit your artwork? It could do, but for me, I wouldn't use a technique like that to draw a leg. I don't. That's not my style, right? So. Okay, let's get back into drawing our knee, and let's add some more detail to it. So if I draw a simplified knee here, right? I'm drawing a simplified knee. I'm going to try and keep the color scheme the same, just for the sake of keeping everything uniform, right? So we've got our simplified knee here, right? Now, what we have to do is we're going to add our kneecap, right? Because the knee would actually separate here, right? So we've got our knee, then we've got our shin, then we've got our thigh. Kneecap would be here. Almost looks like a heart shape. Kneecap would be there. Right, so now we've got up. We're going to add our bones again. We go up like that and go like so. We go down again, tibia, and down like so. So now you can see how I've simplified this spherical object into the knee. Is everyone getting that? I know it's a bit heavier than normal, but it's all part of it. Is everyone getting that? Yeah? So, now we have to bear in mind when we're drawing the muscles on the knee, let's add our tendon again that connect the shin to the kneecap. So this is our tendon here. Now, we've got muscles on the thigh itself. Unfortunately, I don't really have one here. Let me see if I've got one on the side. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll just draw it quickly here. I'll just draw it very, very quickly. If we've got our thigh here, I'm going to draw a thigh very, very quickly, like so. This is what a standard thigh, human thigh, would look like, right? And then going down into the calf like so. And then we can add. Right, so what we are actually doing is we're deep diving what we've got actually here. Kneecap would be here. Shin would be here, the top. Thigh would be here. And then the lower part of the shin and the tibia would be here. So when we draw our characters or whatever, we have certain areas that show where the kneecap is. We have bulges where it shows where the top of the thigh is, where the lower shin is, and so on. So we do see these bones slightly. And that helps to enhance your artwork because you know exactly where to add your cool shading purely because of how the bone attaches to the muscle, or the muscle attaches to the bone, excuse me. That sounds a bit... How you doing, Nightwolf? Has anyone got any questions about that? So now if I add my muscle to the knee here, right? So we've got it going up like so, coming out like so. And then I call it the teardrop muscle. I know it's not the right term, but we have a muscle on the inside of the knee here. It looks like that. Then we have the outer thigh muscle here. Then we have the calf, and so on. It helps so much. I don't know. I really don't have a time scale as to how long it took me to study this, but I find it's really important. I love to study the anatomy because I like to draw characters. They don't have to be massively muscular, but even if I draw female characters, I want to be able to see where the muscles are and how they bend and how they contour. Like here, that's important for me to have that dip here. It's important for me when I'm shading the knee to know where it's really going to dip and where it's not going to dip, if you understand what I mean. Thank you, homie. No, I don't know your name. You just called me homie. But if you like what you see, this is going to be recorded, right? So you can watch this on my YouTube channel. And I think this is important. If you really want to develop your characters, it's very important to know this kind of stuff. Because then you can go really deeply into it. I'm just trying to find another image. I've got a bit of a stack here. No, I can't find it, but that's not important. But you can, if you check my feed, you'll find a lot of stuff like this on there. Right, so let's break down these muscles. This has gone a little bit mad here. I'm going to tidy that up a little bit more. So let's draw it again. Yes, I'm from England, yes. Right, so let's get back into, because this has gone a bit mad. I think I need to slow this down a little bit. I think I need to slow it down a little bit. Like I said earlier, right, if we've got, let me make sure we're in camera, we're in the view, good stuff. So if you're not familiar with my work, you'll see that a lot. If I'm drawing the human thigh, I will draw it like this. You start like this, right? So we got the thigh, we come down to the foot, right? And then I add, well, that's a bit long, bit short, sorry. then I add cylinders, right? This is pretty standard practice if you want to learn the human body. So if you're not familiar with that, then you need to get familiar with it, right? In the same way that I would add a cylinder here, and I try to add the cylinders the same shape as the thigh. Not just a straight tube like this. No, that's what you see the dummies, you know, not dummies, but the wooden dolls. We're not drawing a wooden doll. We want it to have a resemblance to the human thigh, and then we want it to have a resemblance to the human calf. Do you see that? You see the proportion here is important, right? Because then when you start to draw, you start to recognize exactly. Let me just grab this green here. So if we've got this shape here and this shape here, that would translate to this shape here and this shape here, however, from the front. How you doing, Elsie? No, but this is standard, isn't it? Is this not standard practice? This is just standard practice. For me, anyway. Maybe I should have been a doctor. And then the same would be here. See that? And if I'm going too fast, please say. And if you've got any questions, please say. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. I'm good, mate. And you? I'm good. What if the leg, hold on, is bent? So what if the leg is fully bent inwards? Fully bent inwards. What do you mean? You see, this is, sometimes it gets a bit lost in translation. So fully bent inwards. So if you imagine we have, let's go here. Let's go. I'm going to try and understand what you mean. So I'm going to break what down. Like if we have the hips, we have to understand that the hips, well, they have quite a lot of movement, really. It depends on who the person is. But if you want to bend it fully inwards, I'm hoping I understand what you mean. I'm not sure I'm getting it, really. Let me see if is that what you mean? Fully bent inwards. Is that what you mean? I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question. Sorry, I apologize. But that's one leg bent inwards from what I imagine. And then we've got the other leg here. Let me just check that. I, for one, I'm glad I did. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you like what I'm teaching you. That's really nice. I appreciate that. Like if you're sat down. Oh, excuse me. Okay, yeah. So that is pretty standard, right? Because remember, we're talking about very basic objects, right? I always swap to the wrong pen. So if we always imagine that this is our hip area, right? We always imagine these are our thighs. This translates to our calf, right? You have to imagine that these are 3D objects. And then what you have to do is so if we label this number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Let's draw number 1 here. number 2 here, connect them. If we draw so let's go 1 and number 2. If we go number 1 here, number 2 here, what does that tell you? I really needed this. Oh, that's good, Nelsy. That's good. I'm happy. Yeah, okay. If you're squatting, yeah. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Right, exactly. The thigh is going backwards. So see, this is where, now, that was a little bit confusing the way I drew it. So if I draw the knee, so let's go, if I draw number 2 here, and I draw number 1 here, this would be that joint here. So that joint here and the kneecap would be here. Do you see why it's important now to know where the bones are? 2 is facing us. Exactly. 1 is going to be here, hidden. And then obviously we would have our hips, and this would be the person seated in front of us. That would be a lot higher, excuse me. Do you see what I'm saying? And then here now, we would have our tibia and fibia going downwards, like so. We don't, as I said, you don't need to know all of the details, but it's just good when you are actually wanting. Let's add a little bit of muscle to this, just so we can see, like so. And then we can add our calf and so on. And that would be fully from the front. So that's what you have to understand. This information, or this part of the knee, is right here. It depends. It depends on what kind of squat. This is where you have to rotate. You have to rotate your cylinders, so to say. If you're drawing, and I would draw the hips first. I would always draw the hips first. If you don't draw the hips first, I think you're going to struggle. If someone is squatting, if we draw number 1 here, now you have to think about where is number 2. This one. Where is number 2? But then you have to also understand, are we looking at something that is foreshortened? Is it coming towards us? Is it going outwards? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself, right? So if I've got, it depends on the squat, how high the squat may be, I'm not sure. So let's say number 2 is here. Would it be that kind of squat? Because remember, we lose a lot of information behind our calves. We don't see as much. Do you see what I mean? And then you could say, okay, if it's a squat, or if someone's kneeling, we're like this, and we go, okay, this is where the thigh would be. Then we would have number 2. Then we would add our cylinder. And then the thigh would be hiding the shin area, and then probably wouldn't see much of it. Do you see what I'm saying? So now we've got a person squatting or kneeling, or we could say, okay, let's draw a person. And I would definitely check out what type of squat position you want, because there are different types. I would definitely check that out. Good, Dylan. Good. I'm happy. But you just have to understand that that's a 3D object. That is a 3D object. And then say, for example, if we draw the same object, what I would do as well, draw a set of hips like that. And then imagine, okay, let me imagine the movement. You have to imagine the movement that you have in this joint. We've gone on to the hips actually, but never mind, it doesn't matter. Usually I don't, I usually just stick to the knee. Try not to mix the lives, but it just kind of evolved, but that's okay. So here we have our thigh. What you have to do is think about how the thigh moves in different directions, whether it's to the side like so. All right, so you say, okay, yeah, it goes up like that. It comes around to the front, because this is where it rotates. It rotates from here in many different directions. Left, right, and forward and stuff like that. And that's when you have to start to understand where your joint, where the part of your thigh number 1 is and where part number 2 is. And then you can add your knee, then you can add your calf, and then you've got a knee that is maybe going towards my left. In the same way we have a thigh that is going towards my left here. Well, that's exactly the same. A dynamic pose, you have to understand foreshortening. And a dynamic pose, I would probably start it like this. Because now we're really mixing the two, and I think I'm going to have to draw it to a close here, because this is not to do with the knee. I don't like to mix the tubes. This is how I would do a dynamic pose, a kick, for example. But then this might not be the kick that you're looking for. But if I'm doing a kick, I would do it like that. And then I would have my calf going down to here, foot is here, thigh is here, hips would be here, person would be there, the body and the head. So is everyone getting that? But we're going to go back to the knee now. We're not going into anything else. I slipped there. I'm not going to do that. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. We haven't got many likes at the moment. And thank you very, very much for the gifts, Andre. Much appreciated. So, is everyone understanding that up until now? Yeah, you got that. Good. So, what I'm going to show you now is, say for example, if you're drawing the knee, it's just good to have an idea as to what all of this looks like, because then that helps you when you have to shade your knee, for example. And you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it also on YouTube. And thank you very, very much for the follows. So if you imagine this information here, you don't have to, it's just good to have a good understanding of it, because when I want to draw a knee, I think, okay, it's directly from the front. I'm now imagining where the kneecap would be. I'm imagining where the calf would be, for example. And then here, and then here. That's the inner calf, right? And then we add some delicate muscle here. Do you see what I'm saying? You can translate that information, and then you can add some nice hatching and you've got a pretty decent looking thigh. It's probably a little bit muscular, but you've got a nice looking thigh, and you've got the right bumps in the right places. And then you can add some pretty accurate shading. And that helps a lot. Because then we've got a nice looking knee with some decent shading. That's why you don't need to understand that 100%, but when you've got a good idea, then it helps a lot. Good, I'm glad you're happy, Homero. Any other questions? And thank you for the follows. Ah, okay, have a nice sleep. Have a nice sleep. Thank you for joining me. You can watch the video, as I said, on YouTube. So this is the reason why we're learning that. No questions. Oh, good. So, okay, let's go a little bit. This has gone really fast, actually. What's the time? Wow, this has gone really fast, but it's good. So let's draw a knee from the side, like I've done here. Right? We're going to draw a thigh, the whole thigh and the whole leg from the side, right? We've got our 2 cylinders. So let's go different direction. Like so. Add our hips, knee, and ankle. It's a bit scrappy. I'm a bit all over the place today. I'm flipping the paper. And usually it's a bit more struck. Well, maybe it's not, but yeah. Thank you for saying I'm oddly good at drawing. Yeah. You're welcome. Just hit the share button, like button. That'd be great. That would be great. And thank you for the follows. Oh, that's nice. I didn't even know what to do today. I was like, what should I do? I was thinking, should I do the knee? But I was thinking, nah, nobody's going to want to watch that. But it seems as if people want to watch it. So, which is pretty cool. Oops, was I off camera? I do that a lot. Sorry. Gia, I am sorry. Knees are so hard. This is great. Good. Okay, well, if the knee is so hard, look at that, right? This is why we're doing it, right? Imagine the blue that I add now is a sign as to where the bone is. See that? It just tells us where we need to add a little bit of shading. And then we've got a really accurate looking thigh. And then I'd probably add some more here because we need to know the thigh anatomy as well. That belongs to it. So let's add a little bit like that. I don't want to take it too far because I tend to make it look over muscular, but that would be a good starting point. Oh, Shadow Boy, thank you very much. I've got about 40 videos on my YouTube, so you're in the right place. You can watch those. So if you like them, please check them out. And share with your friends. Share if you care. So, I need to stop pressing so hard. I'm pressing very hard at the moment. So, has anyone got any questions? Right. So, if you've got... okay. It looks like we're doing legs today. But that's all right. It's leg day today. I think I might have to grab a piece of paper. No, I'm going to squeeze everything in. I'm going to squeeze it in. So you say that your arms look like legs. If you're drawing an arm, you need to draw an arm like this. I'm going to break the rules today. I'm going to break the rules. That's how you draw an arm. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? I've been drawing seriously for the last 10 months. Unknown, Enkin. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So if that's an arm, you can't make that mistake again, because this is a leg. You see that? Totally different. That's our, these are the hips. And then all you have to do is add your cylinders here. See that? Here we would add another group of cylinders here. However, this is not a leg, so it would look like that. Yeah, but it's something you have to process. You have to process, because the leg can't twist. Exactly. Well, there you go. Because the forearm has a muscle that, it also has muscle that twists, but it has bones that twist here as well. But it's not the same in the leg. It's not the same in the leg. And obviously you could, the hip joint moves in a circular motion, so it can move around here, it can move around here. All you have to do is interpret that information. Number 1 is here, number 2 is here, number 1 is again here, number 2 is probably not that far back, it would probably be around, that's not right, around here. You see that? And then this is where your knee is literally going like that, because you've got some people that are really quite flexible, so that would be turning in towards the body. So if we've got our abdominals here, we've got our obliques here, and we'd have our kneecap here. And then it will be going on the outside here. I'm really messy today. I'm really messy. I'm sorry, it's gone a bit mad. The sheet has gone absolutely mad. What are you seeing? You're just seeing the most chaotic, the most chaotic live stream in the world. But they always end up like this. Unfortunately, every sheet that I draw ends up absolutely crazy. I'm just trying to find a crazy one here. Well, this one is particularly mad. But as you can see, it's all live, right? It's all live. See? They always end up a bit crazy. There you go. So if you like that kind of thing, you're in the right place. So this is how I work. Unfortunately, I'm a bit of a, as you say, I'm a passionate one. I'm a passionate one. So, good stuff. Let's get rid of that. These are all live streams, by the way. All of these. Look. See? The chaos continues. Oh, the chaos continues. That is correct. This is not even half of it. Look. These are all live streams. 100% live streams. So if I can sell these one day, I'll probably be a millionaire. Because I've got tons of these. I'll just have to hang in there. Alright. Well, what I'm going to do is, okay, we can do a hand-drawn one, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, no, in fact, Leah, let's just do it. I'm just going to do it in this, just because it's Sunday. Just because it's Sunday, I'm going to teach you. Is anybody else interested in drawing hands? Yeah, I should actually. Do you make R34? What's R34? I'm not sure. Is anyone else interested in drawing hands? Okay, we've got 2, 3, me interest. All right, let's do it then. I usually don't mix the live streams, but Why not indeed? Because, you know, if you guys are interested, we can do that. Guaranteed. What else can we do? The moment is here, so we shall do it. So, my question is, so that a few people can't draw hands, right? I'm not sure. What's that? See, I don't know what that is. No, we're not. No, please don't start anything silly in the live. So, I want to make a bet with the people that can't draw hands. Who cannot draw hands? And I'm going to bet you in 10 minutes, you'll be able to draw hands. Who's going to bet with me? Who's going to bet? Who's betting? Good. Who's betting though? You need to say, I bet. Yes, I bet. Me. So, 10 minutes. I will teach. Brilliant. Let's have it. Kim, you ready, mate? 5 past. We're going to do this 5 past. Let me get my pen ready. As soon as it gets to 5 past, 10 minutes. I've got 10 minutes and you will all, if you do not know now, you'll all be able to draw a hand in under 10 minutes. You'll know exactly how to do it. Promise. I promise. Right, hold on. We're just going to wait until it gets to 5 past and then we will kick this off. It always takes so long. Go! Okay. Everyone, look at this. What is this? Whoops, I've gone a bit long here. What does that look like? What does that look like? You guys have to answer quicker. Ah, here you go. It's a house. It's a crooked house. Right? Crooked house. Whoops. I'm going to write underneath. Whoops, I'm writing in German. I'm writing in German, sorry. That is actually German for house. What is this? What is that? Triangle. So we literally have this. Exactly. We literally have this. Brilliant. Brilliant. Look at this. So wherever you see me draw a circle, that is a joint. So we now have this. You see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember I said to you guys before, cylinders, right? Cylinders and joints. So now all we have to do is add the finger. So this distance here, we're going to do it here. I'm going to put a spot there because I don't want to draw something offensive. So each finger gets smaller here to here. Our longest, index, and then here 1, 2. Now we have a wireframe for a hand. All that is missing is a joint here. 1 joint here, here. Higher, higher, lower, lower, lower still, lower. Now we have the framework for our hand. All we have to do now is add some thickness to our bones, our wireframe, throughout the whole drawing, right? So this represents the bone, the 3 separate bones that we have in our hand, or excuse me, in our fingers. Excusez-moi. And then all we have to do now is add, I'm not going to draw sausage fingers today. I did that once before. All we have to do is add the skin and the muscle. Drop the pen. We've done it. Who can now know? Who knows how to draw hands now? I've won the bet, right? I've won the bet. Now all of you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's what you owe me. So as soon as you've done it, I want to see subscribed. I want to see that. Whoever said that that's a bet. Who does not know how to draw a hand now? Oh, if you've already subscribed, you have to send me a check for £75,000. Oh dear. That's it. And what's the time? 4 minutes. And I think it was about 3.5. I think there's about 3.5. Off to subscribe. You see, that's what I like to see. That's what I like. I like people that pay up. But what we're going to do is we're going to stick to the theme, right? We're going to stick to the hand theme, right? So this blue line here, let's get into it a bit deeper, right? Because I did sell it to you very, very quickly. But this blue line here, right? If I draw the blue line like so, right? Cheers, Mella. Thank you very, very much. Let's stick to the hand first. Let's calm down. Everybody calm down. So remember, this is not a circle. These are not circles. These are spheres, right? There is a big difference. A circle is a flat object. A sphere is a spherical object. It has a mass, right? This line here, very, very important, is on top of our sphere. So we've got our sphere here and we've got a line on the top of it. I've just done them, mate. I just got them again. Tons in the house. You could. I busted you. You still haven't paid me back. So look at that. This is joint 1. I haven't done a hand one for a long time, Ton. Can you believe it? And then now you're here. So we got 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, right? I'm going to add a smaller sphere. Remember I said it's not a circle, it's a sphere here. So that's our 2 here. And then a smaller one still here. Might have to make it a little bit longer, the line here. What do I need to add now? Good morning, Milan. But you can check my YouTube. I've got tons on there that I did earlier today. Practice. Only practice. So what do we add here now? I'm just checking to see if everyone's still awake. Does anyone know what we need to add here? What do we add in between here? Exactly. And the cylinders get slightly smaller. And now we have a finger that is pointing to us. Well done, Ray. Well done, Milan. I've got to... Oops. Hold on. I've just got an alert. Excuse me. Good. Okay, now we're back on. How you doing, Fatima? And Kiwi. Make a hand making a pose. Please. Don't be rude. Be polite. Hey, yes, I've said hello. And thank you to all that have followed. Right. So now, we're going to do it my pace because people jump too far ahead. So we've got, if I'm drawing a hand in a specific position, you have to understand that the hand is a 3-dimensional object. Is that clear to everyone? No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing 15. I'm only teasing. Don't worry. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. All right. I feel like I had a spider there. So if we've got this blue line here, or these lines here, I should say, this is the top of our crooked house. Is everyone getting that? Exactly. It makes the crooked house three-dimensional. Here is flat. That's 2D, right? So let's write 2D. And here is 3D. Everyone getting that? Everyone getting that? If not, let me know what you're not getting. Brilliant. So this is where we add our spherical objects. I'm going to go heavy green now so you can really see what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in the right place, Cancel. You're in the right place. Yeah, the thumb is not easy, but we're going to try and cover that today. And like I say, even though you've done this maybe a couple times already, you always have to practice it because it's a tricky object to draw. Yeah. So remember what I said about this blue line, right? We're going to draw this blue line at the top of the circle 4 times. Yes, I do have a social. I have I'm on TikTok and YouTube. Exactly. Basic shapes. Very, very important. Because now, if I go like this, if I have my wireframe, you see the blue here? That's the same blue here. If I add my wireframe here, I know exactly, I keep grabbing the wrong pens. I know exactly where to add we've got joint number 1, number 2, number 3. Joint number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. All we have to do is then add our cylinders. And now we have this finger. C'est super. How you doing, Ganok? And then we do the same here. 1, 2, and 3. Whoops. See? That's how you do it. And then we do the same again here and here and here. You just have to continue. Basic shapes. If I draw this, you translate that information to what? What does that look like to you? Now, what does that look like? The length and size. Usually you have this distance here is your longest finger here. See that? That distance here is to the wrist here. The hand, and then the hand to the wrist. And usually the hand is around the same size as the face. So I can imagine 144 people are now sitting there like this. See that? That's the same distance as my face. There you go. How you doing, Bing? Everyone was like that. Unless you've got really small hands. Maybe you've got little hands. How you doing, Chia? Good. I'm glad you're understanding it. Yeah, but you have to, Scott, you just have to keep grafting it, mate. You have to keep grafting it. They are cylinders. The red lines are cylinders, like so. Even though here they look flat, right? They look flat here, but they are actually cylinders, three-dimensional objects. And like I said before, all we'd have to do here is add our cylinders again. And now we have a hand, excuse me, a finger that is like that. Ganok, I hope you're following me, my friend. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you really like what you see, please share. See, so now we have a hand like that. All we would have to do is add, let's not forget, right? The thumb is also a 3D object. So if the thumb is here and I highlight it in pink, that would be here. Okay, mate, have a good one. Thank you very much for helping me out there. Young, much appreciated for that. Thank you very much. Yeah, is everyone getting that? Oh, good. I'm happy, Hanata. I'm so happy. Makes me feel good. But please ask any questions and let's just keep going and see if we can smash this one out of the park, as they say. Loud and clear. Good. See? This is where we take it. Yeah, this is where you have to think of the thumb. Always think of the thumb as, if it's flat, we draw it like this, right? If we've got the palm like this, let's just draw it very quickly. The palm looks, everyone knows what that is now, so that's brilliant. Then we add our thumb. Basic, right? But we have to understand that the thumb looks like this. That is this. Yeah, that's okay. Remember, we're not dealing with circles, we're dealing with spherical objects, right? So we have a joint that is, it looks flat here, but it's round here. Then we have to add our cylinder. And it does bend quite a bit, right? But that's up to you what angle you choose. We add our cylinder here. Remember? Then we add another joint. And then we add the tip of the thumb. So we have this. Thank you for the kind gifts, everyone. Much appreciated. Use your own hand as reference. 100%. 100%. I know I'm not doing the torso. I've actually, this should be an actual knee drawing tutorial, but it's turned into a hand one for some reason. It's just turned into a hand drawing one, and I can't do a knee. I can't do the torso now. Should I trace? No, you don't need to trace anything. Never ever. Never ever ever. You don't need to trace anything. So let's get back into this now. As you can see, these drawings that I've done are pretty rubbish, if I'm honest. This is all on my feed, on my TikTok feed. I've done I could do hand drawing tutorials 24/7. Literally, I could literally just do these 24 hours a day. It's already, something very similar is already on my feed, at least twice. Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I would trace, but you know what I would do? If you see a hand in a magazine, put spheres and cylinders on the actual hand itself, so you'll understand it. Usually in the mornings I go live. Irutsuki. If you go to my feed, on my YouTube feed, I have got maybe 4 live streams on how to draw the torso. I have maybe 3 on how to draw the back. So you've come to the right place. And the nose, right? And the nose. In fact, let me look. I'm going to tell you guys how many you can find on there. Where is my YouTube gone? No, that's not it. Yeah, I know there are definitely 2 on how to draw the back, 2 on how to draw the nose, and so on. Now, I think you'll be fine. You'll find them, and it's just me talking. As opposed to, where have you all gone? I've lost you now. Have I lost you? Oh no, here we go. Good. I shouldn't fiddle around. I've been streaming for the last hour today. No. Separate tutorials. Not doing it. It was bad enough today. Exactly. Continue with the hand. Exactly. That's what I'm going to do. So look, as you can see, these fingers I've drawn they look pretty rough, pretty bad, right? But you don't need much more, because now what we're going to do is we're going to add to this badly drawn hand here. I'm going to add some folds to it, and look how quickly that becomes a pretty accurate finger. You see that? In under 30 seconds, I've turned this badly drawn finger into something pretty cool. Okay, mate. Nice to see you again anyway. You're welcome. Take care. You see that? And all we have to do now is add, let's look at this in a little bit more depth, a little bit of shading, and we've got a pretty cool looking finger. And that was pretty rubbish. This wasn't even a proper rectangle, but it's the framework, you see. When you get the framework right, then you can change anything. Let's add the nail to this, and then add a slight, well, where the joints are, we have a slight bulge. Goes inwards, comes outwards, goes inwards, comes back out, and then we've got an accurate looking finger. Good stuff. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. Wait, you're the one who played the Book of Noah? No, not at all. Never acted in my life. Has anyone got any questions? Practice. You have to practice circles. Just practice circles. These are the fundamentals. Because all I used were lines and spheres to draw a human hand. Maybe I should become an actor, Glitz. Or what is it? Giltz. How do you fix proportions when painting in life? Oh, that's a bit heavy, Jules. I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what you mean, mate. It's way over my head. I'm so intrigued. Well, you will learn. You will learn. If you want to learn how to draw eyes, you've come to the right place. Anatomy, you've come to the right place. And anime as well. I do a lot of anime stuff. if I was you, if you're starting out very basic, as you just said, you have to understand that when I draw things, I use very simple elements, right? So say, for example, you'll see this a lot. Check my feed out. If I draw a person, I start them like this with very simple elements. We've just learned how to draw the hand. So if we had to add the hand here, we would know exactly what to do. We would add our crooked house, our triangle, fingers, and so on. Do you see what I'm saying? And you can go to my feed and you can find stuff on how to draw the human head. Like so. Look at that. We've got the framework already for a human being. And again, we just add our cylinders like we do here. And we've got a pretty cool looking dude already. And it just depends on where you want to take this, to what level you want to take your artwork. And if you're just starting out, it's all good. But you can take it to this kind of level. Or you could take it to that kind of level. But it's all very doable. Yes, I do. I think I'll have to do that later. I might do that later on, actually. Detailed joints, I do that a lot. Recently, I've been doing it a lot. But I won't do that in this. Oops, I won't do that in this live stream. There you go. I've just whacked my knee. You can finally draw hands. I just hit my knee on the desk. But that is something I'm going to do. Yes. How do I not get discouraged? Because I've got my own goals. I've got my own artistic goals. And taking my artwork to the next level is my goal. I was looking up, what do I call those things? Xenomorphs? And I'm thinking of doing something like that. You know, like Alien, something a bit weird now. I think I'm going down that way later on. I'm going to start creating my own stuff soon. Hi, Grandpa. I'm not a grandpa, mate. I don't know who. Or maybe your granddad just turned up. I'm not sure. Hinata, you need to go to my feed for that. Heads, Sukiya, you will find on my feed. 100%. Start to finish. At least 1 hour long. Sometimes even an hour and a half too. I want to study anatomy, but it's overwhelming because... Well, you know, like I said, if you want to study anatomy, and it can be a bit overwhelming, but you have to break it down like we've done here. If you break everything down in its most simplest form, you will recognize this as what? You'll recognize that as a human leg, right? And then you could say, okay, let's add some more information. It's still very simple. So we've got stage 2. You can find that on my feed as well. So we've got like an action man, an action figure type leg. And then what you have to do is learn stage 1, which is the blue. Learn stage 2, which is the green. And stage 3 would be our red, for example, where I've got a really badly drawn leg here. Yet again, let me just put this light on very quickly. And now, because I've got a knowledge of the anatomy, I can turn that leg into something that looks like a human leg. But it's not because I'm better than you. It's only because I know the steps that I need to take to make it look like that. That's the difference. You just don't know the steps yet. But it's something very, very learnable. I just mean, would you? Oh, excuse me, Jules. Excuse me. I think I was reading that far too fast. I just mean, would you just fix it by eye, or I would just fix it by eye. It depends what you're drawing. It depends what you're drawing. And before I forget, say for example, I need to fix this by eye. Even though we recognize it as a finger, we haven't added any shading to it. So this I need to fix by eye. So we create that 3D shape, if you understand what I mean. See that? Now it's given the finger more volume, right? And that's important. See, this needs to be fixed as well. And obviously we could, or we would add more details around the joints and the hand and stuff like that. And then obviously we need to add it's very, very important to add shade into it, because then it gives it that depth. And without the depth, then it just looks weird. Very flat like that. The proportion of the hand, as I explained, your longest finger here is the palm of the hand, or the back of the hand. Tack, tack. Oh, thank you, General Waters. Thank you very much. Oh, that is really nice. I didn't expect this. That is really nice. Sometimes... Please, Hinita, go to my feed. I have got maybe 3 eye drawing tutorials there. And they are literally... I have to just flick through. There you go. Like that. And I go stage by stage in exactly the same way. I teach you how to position everything. As you can see here, I've got very basic elements. And number 1, number 2, and 3. And they are all highlighted here. You will find that on my feed. In fact, on my YouTube, you'll find that. Because I've posted that. Or I'll be here for 17 years giving tutorials. I won't move for 17 years. I'll be just drawing eyes and everything. I used to do that. I used to hide the hands and hide the eye when I can't draw it. I know. Thank you, Anita. But please go to my feed and my YouTube. You'll find them all there. Have you studied anatomy? Yeah, I have studied it. But like I explained earlier, you have to start really basic, like a very straight figure, right? So if you don't know what the bone looks like, don't worry, but draw something that represents a bone like that. And then obviously, if you really want to get into it, then you could take it to the next level. But if you don't want to go to the next level, then you go cylinders. Because this helps with proportion. See, now we've got a thigh. And then the next stage, like I said here, would be the muscle. Like, I'm trying to think of where I've done that. Here. I'm just grabbing any random image here. Oh, what's happened here? No, it's okay. Like here, simplified. Oh man, it's just jumped. It's just gone a bit mad. Hold on. Sorry, hold on, guys. I've got 48 comments. I don't do animation. No, I don't. Too aware of knees, not your own. Xenophobes. Ah, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yes, you're right. What did I say? I said something wrong, didn't I? No, I'm not really an artist. I'm someone studying art. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Did I say that wrong? That could have been really bad. No, I don't get any back pain. No, you need to sort your desk out, man. I've actually got a tutorial on the skull. So that you can find on YouTube. How to draw the skull. Wow, thank you for the follows. Wow, that has gone mad. This is so good. Oh, thank you. So do you make anime? I've done that one. Hold on, I'm just scrolling down. I'm scrolling down. Don't know how to draw people sideways. That's on my feed, Jibang. You have to go to my YouTube. Thank you, kind sir. I'm looking forward to learn more with you. Thank you, Mizu. I like that name because it reminds me of the character in Blue-Eyed Samurai, Mizu. I think it's with an S. I'm not sure. How you doing, Dwork? How you doing? Legend. Where did I learn art? Sitting right here. I just pursue it myself. It's one of my goals. So oh, thank you, Kanzul. Oh, you want to go to Spain? You can study at home, but yeah, why not? If you want to go to Spain, why not? Indeed. Didn't realize how poorly I was drawing eyebrows. Well, we all got to start somewhere, and when you start doing them properly, mention me. I'll be happy to see those. All for free too. You're a legend, sir. Yeah. Well, I'm going to see how long I can keep it for free. So that's why you guys have to hit the like button, so the algorithms look at me and say he's such a cool guy, and he's people like to do what he's doing. But I didn't go to art college, and you can still do some good stuff. There you go. Didn't go to art college, but I can draw that. Everything you see, I draw. Everything is here. Like this was drawn with the big pen, zero rubber. If I want to draw like this, I can draw like that. And that's just the way it is. And don't let anyone put you off your art. You pursue your goals. You make mistakes. I make lots of mistakes when I'm drawing, but I don't care. I keep soldiering on. And that's what you have to do. Do not be deterred. Good. I'm happy that's helping you. I think, you know what? I think I could do realism as well if I really wanted to, but I'm a bit impatient. I've been doing too many lives and I have to draw too quickly. But I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could do realism. I'm sure I could. I think the difference between what I do now and, say for example, if I wanted to turn that into something realistic, it would just be the shading, right? I do that. It's down to how good I could colour it, because proportionally it would be all right. And yeah, I've got some anatomy stuff actually on my YouTube. Art Walker, you can find it there. I have drawn a couple of horror images, but more zombie style. I think they're on my TikTok feed, a couple of them, yes. Check them out. I usually stream in the mornings. I appreciate you, man. Ah, that's nice, Valley. Exactly. You never stop learning. Leave your ego at the door, try new things and use them, implement them into you and put them in your artwork. Look at other styles as well. And don't get too locked into any one artist, right? So whatever you see and you be influenced by that person, but don't get locked into it. Create your own style. Good morning, Oni. Thank you very much for the kind gifts, everyone. I feel like I'm in an art class, but online. There you go. That looks awesome. The awesome stuff. What awesome stuff can I show you? This is a bit more awesome. I'll put that there instead. Thank you. Draw the trending skeleton. Is it trending? Do you have any? Yes, I do like. Well, no, it's not Japanese style. I can't remember. There's a guy that I actually follow, and he's got pretty. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I have to say, I find it very hard to say one style is better than any other. You can draw hands while I can only draw faces. I can draw faces. No, not anymore. I used to draw digitally, but not anymore. And it is the morning for me, and for you it's the night. Yeah, I used to draw digitally, but I want to inspire young kids to draw. And if I draw digitally, then they will not be able to have certain packages or computers and stuff like that. So that's why I don't do that. That's why I don't draw digitally anymore. Good. So anyone got any questions about hand drawing now? Any materials are good for traditional art. Well, as you can see, I look at my pens. Look at this. Look at that pen. That pen is beaten up. It's broken. This one is fading. These are just random colours, but I'm sure I drew this with these two pens. So obviously, if you're drawing good stuff where you really want to have good quality paper, I would always recommend that. But for these live streams, I've just got very, very basic paper. I'm not sure of what you mean. Walk, I'm not sure. No, I don't think I'll touch digital again. Because when you draw digitally, people say, "Oh, did you do that with Photoshop?" And it's almost like, "Oh, well, you had Photoshop to help you do it." You know, that kind of stuff. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't think I will. Yeah, muscular hands is. Yeah, I do. I would know how to do it. The veins, it's funny, I haven't really focused that much on it. I think it's more to do with the hand position. And obviously, if you're drawing veins, you have to think this is a bit heavy, bit deep, but you need to think about where your light source is and how to shade. This is where your shading comes in. If you're dealing with like veiny, muscular bodies, or hands for that matter. Thank you, Valley of the Real. Thank you. Yeah, this is the question. It's come up a few times. Simplify it first. Do it in stages. Just like here. See that? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. You see, you just build it up in stages. Understand each element individually then move on, then move on again. Okay, I will do Walker. I will check that out if I get the time. That's for sure. So we've been going for an hour and a half. Covered quite a lot, actually. Didn't expect to be covering so much. Why not give it a try? I think I've covered that. What's the hardest body part? In my opinion, it's the hips. The hips are really tricky. Especially when you want to, if you have to draw the hips in different positions. You know, like if you've got the hips like this, it's okay. And when you've got the hips and you've got foreshortened thighs, and so for example the knee, it can get a little bit tricky. That's the part that's quite tricky. Yeah, I think the hips would be the hardest when I think about it. Yeah. Good question, by the way. Hi, Carlos from Brazil. Yeah, this is important. The stages are important. Dynamic poses, you have to understand foreshortening. Foreshortening, and obviously, like I said, you have to have a good knowledge of the anatomy as well, because there are so many limitations to the human body, right? We've got certain joints are limited, like the finger or the thumb. They're limited in different ways. And dynamic poses, I think you need to start with basic poses. Understanding, say for example, how the hands move, how it changes the shape of the muscle. Like so, you see that muscle, it's changed its shape. And then you have to understand what does the, I don't know, what does the body look like from the side? What do my ribs look like from the side? What do my ribs look like from underneath? Do you see what I mean? And now you've got this idea as to, okay, yeah, if something was looking up from here, what would it look like? What do my ribs look like from the side? And you go, oh yeah, I've got that now. And then you have to gradually take these stages to then be able to draw dynamic poses. Because usually dynamic poses are not straight. You know, they're more reaching or bending, and that's tricky. That gets tricky. Yes, I do know how to draw noses, and I have literally posted a tutorial on drawing the nose, and it's a really good one actually. Hell is back. Where did you go? Did you go for something to eat? Oh, I'm starving now myself. Usually when I draw. Yeah, why not? References, why not indeed? Why not indeed? I would use references, but I don't. But every now and again I do. Oh, I could eat one now. Oh, I'm starving, mate. Good. Anyway, I think I'm going to draw this to a close before I pass out. I'm going to draw this one to a close. It was a bit of a mixed bag today. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth to post this one because it was a really crazy tutorial with many things. So if you guys are interested, I can post it on YouTube. But it's a long one, isn't it? We'll see. Yeah, maybe I will. This is R-Class Premium. Oh, thank you. I hope you are all following. And if you're not following, that's a shame. Yeah, I really fancy something like that now. Kim, why did you do that? God, dear. Oh, I'll probably have a really dodgy sandwich now. So, yes. I'll probably do one more live stream today. Not sure when, not sure what about. So if you are interested, let me know. Well, follow me, and then we can do something else today. And yeah, I wish. So you can draw. Yeah, I think I can, yeah. I think I'm not bad. I'm still learning. I'm in the process of learning. Yes. So I will post this live stream, this long live stream, on my YouTube channel. If I can time driver, I would follow it. Oh, that's nice. That is really nice. You, Rob Bloxian. That's really nice. Carlson, you're more than welcome. Oh, and I was really thinking, what should I do today? And I was like, I'll just do a live on the knee, and then it's evolved. So, which is really cool. And I appreciate all of the kind words. That is motivation for me. This is a two-way street, so I really appreciate it. Cheers, mate. That's much appreciated. Still learning. Well, if I'm inspiring others, I know the word will spread. That's important for me, that I'm inspiring others. That's why I use the most basic tools, and the most basic techniques to achieve good, cool stuff. I find art to be more fun now instead of stressful. Yes. I think once you start to understand the basics, it starts to fall into place. And it can be stressful in the beginning. This is why many people don't do it, because you have to understand many, many, many things. I don't think there's any right or wrong. You can use a reference. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. No, everybody has to use references. No. And if you don't, that means you're very skilled. You don't have to. You can express your own art. You don't have to follow anybody's rules. You follow your own rule set. Yeah, no. Just find your own way. There's no rules. Don't follow any rules. Make your own rules up. Obviously, if you want to draw something realistic, then you have to follow certain rules. But I haven't even done that myself about the leaves, by the way. I should look that up. Why not? That's good. I'm glad for you, but B. Is it B? Oh, anatomy. Yeah, anatomy is my favourite thing to draw. I really enjoy it. But I really want to do, I want to put some time, I need to put the time together and draw like a skeleton like this, or a body like that. I really have to do that. I think I've put in enough practice, and now I need to put something really hot together, really hardcore, A3. And I will actually start with the pencil. That's what I will do. Thank you, Julia. I will keep going. You will see me improve. I hope to see you guys improve, but I guarantee you, in a year from now, this will look like child's play. I know it. I'll bet you. In a year from now, I will make this look like child's play. That's my promise to you all. Good stuff. Okay, I'm going to go because I'm absolutely starving. And then maybe later on I will jump on again. I'm not sure what kind of tutorial I'll do. Maybe something to do with the human body. Maybe something to do with anime or manga. We'll see. And I hope you are all, or you will be available later on. And you can also join me. You could add your logo. Yeah, why not indeed? I don't know. I don't even know what that question is. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I hope you are all blessed as well. Please. Oh, that is too funny. No, I'm not going to take that as an insult. You know why? Is it Ugar? You know why that is really quite interesting, right? I actually respect that, what you've written there. I really respect that because when I say to people, oh, I draw, they look at me and they go, oh, right, because people don't think I can draw. When I say to people, oh, yeah, I draw, I don't know, let's say anime or anatomy, they go, oh, right. I know it, right? I remember when I wanted to go into doing art exhibitions, and I would say to them, oh, I'm interested in doing an exhibition of artwork at your studio. And they would look at me like, oh, right, yeah. People don't expect it of me because I'm not a small guy, right? I'm quite a big guy. And they're like, oh, so what do you draw then? What do you draw? And they're very skeptical about whether I can draw or not. So I'm breaking another stereotype, which is, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. That's made me laugh, actually. Because people don't expect it. And that's why when I say to people, oh, yeah, I draw this and I draw that, I know in the back of their head they're thinking, oh, he can't draw anything. I think I'm going to do one in about 2 hours. I'm going to have a little break, and then I'll be back on in around 2 hours. Centurion, nice to see you, mate. Yeah, exactly. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I know, mate. This is the world we're living in, mate. This is the world we're living in. I don't know. Unfortunately, fortunately, I don't even know how to respond to this, but stereotypes can be a very dangerous thing. And if you don't give people the opportunity to show themselves, then you're stereotyping, right? And this is not good. This is not good. I get this a lot because where I'm living. I know I get stereotyped a lot because my German is not 100%. I look a certain way. That is very, very destructive because people look at me and they think, oh, because I'm not, as I say, I'm not a small guy. And I know that certain people can be quite intimidated by me in person. It's just the way it is. And I know intellectually people can be also intimidated by me because I'm quite confident. I'm quite good at what I do. This can be a bit dangerous because people will shut you out, like I have been shut out many times. Not because I wasn't good enough, but because you are almost a threat. And it's just the way it is. But it's not going to deter me. I've got my own platform. I can be myself here. People can see me here. And it's all good. Jaja Colleen, how you doing? Well spoken, man. You're a great guy and a night. Cheers, Jules. Yeah, we just have to, everyone's got their own struggles, right? Yeah, everyone's got their own struggles. You have to embrace your struggle, take it on, accept it, but understand, what can I change? Right? What can I change? What can you change? Right? It's like me saying, man, how can I draw eyes better? I just have to draw eyes 1,000,000 times. How can I gain the respect of my peers? Right? You can say, well, I need to improve certain things. Just do it, right? There you go. Unfortunately, my hobbies have taken a bit of a hit recently. I still love martial arts. I used to be mad on martial arts when I was younger. But now I'm getting older, my joints are playing up. I can't can't close my hands anymore, and you know. But I used to be mad for MMA and all that. Oh, I loved all that. I still do. I love all that. If I was young, I'd probably do MMA, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing, you know, people don't expect that of me. They think, oh, yeah, yeah. But I used to love all that. Man, I used to love MMA. Karate, I used to do karate when I was a kid, won competitions. Kick it. Oh, dear. I'll tell you some story. One day we'll do a storytelling day. Yeah. Oh, mate. Too funny. Too funny. Good stuff. Good, good. Okay, I'm going to go and eat something. I'm really happy to have done this live stream. It's lifted my spirits today. I hope you guys are all lifted as well. I will post this one. It's a mad one. I'm just going to post it as the mad live stream. We will catch up in a few hours, and I wish you all a lovely day, and be careful. I don't only look like Anderson Silva. I could also be quite dangerous as well. Take care. See you guys and girls. Take care. Bye-bye. Cheers. Bye-bye. You're more than welcome.